Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're here at week 39 of season 11 in TGC Tours, just continuing our quest to qualify, but always just happy to be playing. As I've talked about before, even if we don't have a tour card, we're playing the same courses that we would on the challenge circuit. So it's just really more of a standings difference than anything else. We still get to have the same enjoyment. So the course here is Mr. Mustard, which I assume is a created course. As always in the first round, what I try to do, if I have the detail, which I do in this case because I'm actually doing this Monday, so sometimes I start playing Saturday night or even Sunday, but did not do that this weekend, so just trying to at least get the first round done. Hopefully I can get a couple in the books. We shall see how things go and how I feel. But there were 431 participants that basically made it through all 4 rounds. So they kind of clear everything up. We were floating around 700 or 800, but all told, they've awarded the tour cards. They awarded them to 146 out of 431. So over 30% of the participants did get tour cards. Cutoff was 16 under. There was one poor person who was 16 under who did not get a tour card. So I'm sure to some degree, there's a way they cut things off. So I guess it probably was really 145 that got tour cards. So, and in the lowest flight, there were about 15 people. So it went up to I think it would have been 14 people because it went up to 131 before they kind of cut it off or whatever. I'm not sure why suddenly they've done more, because in the past few weeks it's been like 10, maybe 15% of the participants got tour cards, so this was definitely easily double that. But the only thing I can think of is I've definitely seen a trend at times where people do qualify. They've got a tour card, they start doing well and or poorly, and they earn demotion marks, and then people just kind of stop playing. They're still in the flight or whatever, and so maybe after a certain point in time, TGC Tours looks at that and says, well, yeah, this flight's kind of full, but participation-wise, we're only getting half the field, so we're going to add more people in because maybe people have fallen away and decided not to play. And I get the people get a little tired of the game or whatever it is. There's far too many people that are very fickle with their interests, and they'll go on and move on to the next shiny object as soon as it catches their attention. So it's possible, we're now it's almost July, so we've got March, April, May, June. So it's been 4 months, and maybe for some people it's like, that's enough time for golf for me, and I'm going to wait now until 2K27 comes out. I guess in my view, it's their loss, but whatever they want to do. So, but I ended up below 300th, so I was more than double the people away from the field, even with a relatively okay showing. There's another person I follow that has a channel, Sim with Don, that is also working to get a tour card, and they did end up 11 under, which was a wonderful performance, but that was still not enough to get a tour card. So we shall see what this week's event holds for us. So let's get going. All right, the creator was Australian something or other, so I don't know if this is supposed to be a course that would model something that you'd have in Australia. I have no idea. You've got red tees and gold tees that are relatively close to each other, about 200 yards apart, so I could certainly see that we may get the option to play between those tees. Fairways and greens are firm. Green speed medium fast at 7.7. Probably the biggest thing that jumps out at me here is it is just a par 70. So keep that in mind as we play. It's not a normal 72, and sometimes we have a 71, but I do think it's pretty rare to have a course on TGC Tours that has 70. All right, we are on the red tees, first pins. Going to start out challenging. High winds, moderate green firmness though. Green speed is going to stay at medium fast and fairways are firm. Alright, so here we are. So yeah, I think it was Australian 983 was the creator's name. Alright, so no visible water here to start out with, so that is helpful to me, because at least, you know, I mean, we do have clearly, I'm assuming, an out of bounds, but I'm not quite sure. We do have a fence on the left, but I'm thinking that is our cart. Well, maybe it's not our cart path, so maybe if we get over there, well, but you can see over by just before the bunkers as we fly by, there is a path coming off of there, so we do see a windmill out there. I'm sure we don't have a lot of those kind of things in Australia, so I'm not sure. Maybe the guy's just Australian. But anyway, let's stop speculating and let's start playing. Oh my word. Well, we're going to test the left side here. Alright, should be okay since we're in the grass. So, alright. So I did quite well on my last career round. I've won 2 tournaments in a row, but again, those are on pro settings and obviously just computer challengers, so all of that obviously changes dynamics and so forth. So I'm going to go up a couple clubs and then choke up. Hopefully not choke. Alright, much better directionality on the swing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. At least I'm on the green. We'll see what kind of rollout we get. Alright, not super... Oh, we're going backwards. Not super close. Anytime the ball wants to stop, I'll be okay with it. Okay, so it was just a little bit of a... Okay, definitely a big break up the hill. And then a slight break back, so we'll see. Might not be hard enough. No, definitely not. I just did not want to blow by the hole, but again, those things hurt me. Yeah, alright. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get that. Alright, You Stay Classy San Diego. That's a name that we are familiar with. It does pretty well regularly. So I would think a good amount of people have played by now, because like I said, I'm technically a day and a half behind when you can start playing. Oof. So, again, we're starting to hit more closed than open, which I suppose is good. Now, if I can just end up somewhere in between, because my problem used to be that I was open all the time. You know, as they'd say around these parts, used to could. But hopefully, now again, the swing bias is different here. So, I didn't do too badly, honestly, but I think the lie was just fierce enough that it kind of caused some problems. So, what do we do? Wow. Alright. So if I go to a full approach, come back and pull back, can I get close? I can. So that puts me at what? I mean, I'm at 75%, so in theory I'm at like 80, 78, 75 or so. So maybe we'll go a little bit further up. Wow. Not loving the lie. Yeah, oh boy. I'm just shooting everywhere but where I really need to be. So, alright, we're going to flop up, see what we can do here. Alright, close. Not necessarily an easy putt. It might be. No, it ain't flat. So, looks like it might be flat. Alright, good, but we made a good putt, and we made it in, but we are now 1 over. So, alright, so now, because we could kind of see a few holes to begin with. A big cross breeze. This almost seems, oh boy, it almost seems too much. Ah, way open. Alright, I think we would have bounced off anyway. Alright, so we're going to go way up here. Not quite so open. I think we're kind of at the flag. We are nicely at the flag. Slow down, slow down. I liked where things were headed, but I don't like what's going on right now. Come on, really? Wow, that hurt. Alright, no, we're not going to do that, so we're going to go up, we'll super flop this, and it'll be what it'll be. So, put up there relatively decently, but a little further away than I would have liked. Ah! Too much. Alright, well, this is going the wrong direction for sure. Another bogey. So 2 bogeys in a row. Alright, well, not an easy course. It may, you know, have a few water hazards, but certainly not easy. Alright, let's see what this comes out as. Wow, still 5 plus the 2. Not a good result. And yes, we hit the edge. It wasn't bad from a distance standpoint, but just not what we wanted. Alright, I'm going to go 28. I turned it way too far up. So yeah, you know, that one I'm still hitting to the right a lot. Alright, and again, it's a par 3, so it is downhill. So I want to be gentle. Alright. Okay, that was an earned par for sure. So I am, as you can see, I am fighting to stay in contention. But things are just not quite working. Alright, the back part was good. Now bounce to the left. Alright, thank you. I don't know why I didn't speed it up, but I didn't. Ooh, just cross that and roll down a little bit. Get me another 10-20 yards closer. That would be sweet. Alright, we have wind with us here. Alright, it's going to blow across, and we've got a crazy lie. Still far, far open. At least get on the green. Alright, we are safely on the green. It should not roll back, but we are a long way from the hole. So, oh boy, are we ever. Wow. It's sideways and downhill. So overall, this is pretty awful. I can't see where I am at all. So, no idea. We rolled off, I see. That's not good. Alright, this is a long way, but I'm going to try this. Come on back, come on back. Darn. Good power, because I had to go harder because I was on the fringe. But, yeah, that was just a tough putt, the first putt, because we had a huge break and a big downhill. I mean, everything was red, so it was up there. All right, wind blowing against us. If we get the wind turned around on this hole, this may be drivable from the tee for me. Not great, but I think we're going to be okay. We rolled off, I bet. Oh, no, we hung on. All right, I think that's our first shot in the fairway, which is unfortunate. Man, uphill. I'm going to try this. That does not seem far enough. No, I guess it was okay. All right. Again, a little bit more off than I would have liked. A little interesting roll here. Let's see. Let's see where things end up. We see the shadow at least. We're within the shadow of greatness. A little bit downhill, so I'm being careful. Come on. Oh my God. Wow. Well, that was a valiant effort. But we just get a par. So 3 pars, 3 bogeys. What we want is 3 birdies, 3 bogeys. That would be a round. All right. We should be able to drive past the bunker. All right, now we're closed again, so if we don't get past the bunker, we may be in the bunker. We landed right next to it, I think. But wow, nice drive, 394 yards. So let's turn this into something. Definitely. A little bit more open. Well, I might overdrive the green just because of how it's directed. But that's okay. Now we're definitely gonna pull this back. And we're gonna give this a try. I do struggle with accuracy on these, but, you know, and I've been told the flop shot is difficult. It's a high difficulty shot. Please? All right. That is a birdie. It did not look, it looked like it was kind of meandering both ways. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to hit it down the throat. All right, heading toward the windmill. I was losing my mind. Like, what is it? All right, with the wind, I'm going to leave it here. All right, better. 4%. I know the wind is going to move it, so... Wow! Wow, I really had some good hopes for that, but no. Definitely choked. Alright, well, this is going to be a big pick here. Alright, we hit the rhythm perfectly, but again, a long way up. So I'm not surprised that I'm a good ways short, but that was the most I could do with a pick, and I definitely didn't want to be playing with another kind of shot. Come on, come on. Oh. I am making good attempts, but they are just not working out for me. All right. So we just gave that back. Which I hate. That's kind of my old process. All right. Interesting par 4. Because it's not supremely long. It's just an interesting dog leg. All right, we ran off the edge. All right, with the wind, I'm going to just swing this way. May not be enough. I don't know. We gained a little bit of power. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now just hold up. Hold up. All right, well, don't roll down the hill. How about that? All right. I'll take that. I will take that. Go in. Go in. Thank you. All right. Get it right back. All right. Again, I am hanging onto the cliff with my fingernails. I am really working at this. Wow. I mean, 15 miles an hour is just a wind that is... Oh, my goodness. I can't win for losing. That was not a bad shot, and then it just didn't quite blow back as far. All right. We're only going to gain about 5 yards. I think we're going to just go, because we're also uphill here. So I'm going to go try this. All right. Didn't lose any power. It's coming back. Good bounce. Interesting bounce. Don't carry too much energy. Don't cross that threshold. Thank you. Yes, get rejected back toward the hole. That's as good a shot as I could have hoped for. That is certain. Let's see. Pretty flat. So I want to give it enough, but not too much. No. Nope. Off a bit. All right. Should be a par. Well, we're near the ocean, but it's not, the water's not really in play. And hopefully it kind of stays that way, because I'm guessing we're walking down the coastline here for a little bit. 11 feet down. So I'm gonna go down and choke up. I mean, the wind will do the wind. No, good. Yeah, I saw the hill, and I'm like, it's gonna hit me in the right direction. So, very nice. Definitely my best shot of the event so far. All right, so a par 3 that we birdie. Definitely a good result there. 1 over. Classy San Diego has vanished from the leaderboard. They're not even in the top 5. Wow. That's unexpected. Ooh, interesting kind of mess there. It's a little bit of everything, but it's a decent shot. 292. Oh, I remember these kind of holes. We've got plenty of those available to us. All right. I just don't want to end up in the bunker. I'm kind of not quite on. I mean, it is sloping, but not a lot. So, we're going left. Which again, the wind is pushing. All right, that's not bad. We're gonna go down the hill though, so we're not gonna stay up on the tier. But that's okay, I suppose. We'll just make the best of it. All right, a lot of movement that way. The problem is, again, I mean, if we go past the hole too far, we're gonna be in trouble. But we gotta get near the hole. All right, slow it down. No, come on, slow it down. Ugh. All right, well, it hung up at least. Let's see if we can do it again. Pull another miracle out of our repertoire here. Nope, broke too much. But not bad on the power. Hopefully pretty straight in. Yep, all right. So giving it back, 2 over. But again, 16 over, 4 under an average is what we're looking at to be potentially competitive. But this is where I said it just becomes fun to play. And yeah, if I make the tour, I make the tour, but if I don't, I'm not gonna work myself up about it. Alright, I'm going to go the whole way here. It's flat enough that I should get a decent out here. You know, and again, the way we hit the hill, it took some distance off, but I got nearly 200 yards. I would have been nowhere near that far with the 4-iron. So I will take that. Wow, is that enough is the question. 118, I don't know. Wow, alright. I'm gonna go with it. Alright, decent. Yeah, alright, that was the right call. Because one less would have been really short. I might not even have made the green. That just seemed like a lot. I mean, that was 20 yards, but I was uphill. Oh, this is rolling. A little bit of drama. This is when we cue up the music. Wow. I'd say that was nice, but can we do it? Ooh, this is gonna break a lot because it's downhill. So I want to be careful. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting wind pattern here. Ah, way too open. Dang. Dang. God, I just wanted to stay out of there. Alright, well the good news is we're close enough. Oh, okay. We're not really. The question is, I should be able to get out of there with the 4-iron. So let's see if we can at least get on the green. Alright, we could get out. That's good. It's straightening out. Bounce up the hill. You're gonna get deadened. It's gonna fall off, but hey, it touched the green. Oh, stop. Just stop. Just stop. I hate these. Alright. Alright. So... Alright, I'm not going to deal with this because that's just going to roll me off the green. So I'm going to aim over there, and oh, I think I just literally knocked myself back over. So I'm going to get about there, let's say. And then we'll just get close, hopefully. Oh my god. Wow. So much for close. Whew. That was not what I expected. Alright. Alright, we gotta be... Again, well, we know we're gonna hit to the right because we suck at this. Oh boy. Not bad, though. We played the way we knew we'd play. Wow, this is already a bogey? Ah! Alright, that break was not as big as I thought it was going to be. Darn it, a double bogey. Wow. Alright, again, coming back down the coast. 3 wood, this is more than enough. Oh, whoa, no, this is way too much. Because it's 34 down. I'm going to do a choked 5 wood, I think. I'm going to go way over here, and we're going to hope that it blows and rolls the way we need it to. Alright, hit beautifully. All wind now. All wind. I just need enough. Oh, you're awful. Like, I just need... And it was almost there. Ugh. That was a good shot, though. That was a good try. Good old college try. A lot straighter than I thought with the lie, honestly. Okay. Further than... And it went further. So it really kicked out of there pretty nicely. I think it's going to roll a little bit that way. A good downhill, though. So I don't want to hit it too hard. It's coming back. Can we? Can we? Yes. Alright, well, 5 birdies or better, clearly. It's a daily quest, so I'm not pulling that from anywhere else. But 2 over is like what this is like trying to really hard make me have. It's a tiny green. A little open. I don't think it's going to blow me back enough. So we're going to be off to the right. Oh, stay out of the bunker. Darn it. Ugh. Alright, so we'll go with the pick. We'll go with the pick. Alright, at the flag. How close? Not bad. Alright, that's about as good as we could do it. This is going to break, I think, a good amount. Alright, not quite as much as I thought, but enough that at least it fell in the hole. 2 more holes. Alright, again, lots of breeze, lots of breeze. Alright, perfect, perfect, perfect. Overswing. Again, as good as I can make it. Oh, nice. Alright. I knew it might run off the edge, but again, I didn't want to drop 50 yards just to be super safe. Oof. Alright. I can't. Alright. So if I choke approach, I can't pull back more, but I need to pull back a bit here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with that. Wow. Alright. I don't like the lie. Boy. Yeah, I think the lie really pulled it. I mean, I did hit it closed as well. That still was too hard. Look how far past the hole I ended up. Wow. And then again, we're downhill, kind of in a valley, and we're uphill at just before it. So this is brutal. Oh boy, are we gonna make it? We're not gonna even make it up the hill, are we? Oh no, we did. Alright, well then that's about as good as I could do. Because coming down there would be tough. So I'll take that. So what does the last one look like? We head into the greenhouse? We are. Alright. So, alright. The right play is this. It's too narrow. Otherwise, it's just too narrow. Uh-oh. Now you're not going to move it back, are you? Alright, it's not going to go far enough, so that's good. Alright. And now I've got a regular... Okay, it's going up about 5 yards. I'm going to pull it back a little because of the lie. I like it. I like it. I like the angle. Oh, no roll at all. Just deadened. Wow. It's not going to go that far. Famous last words, right? I'm going to go back. And it went that far. Now go back a little bit. Ah! It did, but not enough. So it went further than I thought even. Alright, 2 over. So, not the round that I would have liked, but man, yeah, this is just like last course. This one is not easy. Wow, look at that. From 14 under to 11 under, and we don't see Classy San Diego, so maybe they struggled. All right, should be up to 42, or might get to 43 next round, but then the round after is just going to be a, cross the level type round. All right, so a level up token is the useful thing. The forgiveness ball, we're not even allowed to use them on TGC tours, but I don't want to get in the habit of playing around where I screw around with different types of adjustable balls or things that are temporary, and then you're adjusting your play because of that. So rather not, would rather just keep working with what my skill set is and what my golf bag holds. The silver lining, I suppose, is once again, like I'm consistently maintaining respectable play. Let's call it that. I mean, when you're 2 over par, if this was a regular course, I shot 72. It's just I'm 2 over par because it's a 70. That's not bad for me. It's not going to be good enough, but once again, I'm almost at the point where it's like, I'm just playing TGC tours, and I don't really care if I get a tour card. I just enjoy how they put it together and the challenge we've got and so forth. And one of these days, I trust I'll get there. I'll continue getting better like I did. And the good news is here, I started with 2K25 right when it came out, where I did not start with 2K23 right when it came out. So I've got a much longer runway here with 2K25 to keep improving. So that Society Bank for the tour is coming up to 20,000. We may never do anything with it, which is fine. Even if we do, I'm not going to be in the running to have anything happen, so I'm good with that. But more importantly, I'm approaching 10,000, which I think, again, will be helpful as we get into future seasons. So when those folks ask, why don't I use level up tokens, why don't I use VC? Because I know what the future holds. And so just plowing through them all to make my life easy in the beginning doesn't make a lot of sense. I think what I ended up ultimately doing, I might do a little quicker in Season 3, and that was basically, I did use the level up tokens for my driver, because those, that has a massive impact in the beginning. Like if you can't get a good straight tee shot and a good amount of distance, you're kind of chasing yourself the whole hole after that. But that still would require to move up 2 levels like they normally provide in each season that we've seen. That's 10 tokens, so that takes me down to 15. And then, I have 10 more for Season 4, but then I'm short for Season 5. And there's at least 6 seasons that they appear to have in their skill tree. So I'm going to assume that's how many we'll have before we then potentially move on to 2K27. Yeah, the other piece I guess I was thinking about related to that, there's definitely been discussion across the gaming community, not specifically PGA Tour, but it's definitely been talked about with 2K, is where there are folks that are like, I refuse to pay, extra, in essence, pay to play, where I did spend money for the upper package here, the Legend, but I did that because really rewarding the developers for a really solid, enjoyable game in 2K23, and I think they've improved in 2K25. I vastly enjoy the swing dynamic. Now, what I hope they don't do is that they do what a lot of developers do in the future is, well, it's a new game. We got to really rethink things, and they tinker with something that's working really well. I hope that's not what they have in mind for 2K27, because that would be disappointing. But to some degree, I do see that as rewarding good companies. So while I normally would be in the boat of, yes, don't give me a mediocre product and then expect me to pay to be to make it an enjoyable product. That's frustrating, and that, I think, is robbery. And there's far too much of that happens where, you've got companies who are like, oh, the base game, but the base game's kind of and you need the DLCs to make it fun. I point to City Skylines as one of those games. That one has disappointed me. I have not returned to it. I keep an eye on the chatter in the community, and there's just nothing that this community does not seem very excited. They seem placated by what Paradox and Colossal Order have done there. But that's not what we have going on with 2K. So I get the frustration of kind of people who have stuck with 2K Sports the whole time. I used to play their stuff on consoles decades ago, so I'm familiar with them. I know they've been around a long time, and I do get that there is a lot of, hey, you can spend money to get some stuff. But I've never felt they were kind of intentionally building an extortionist game where a lot of people in the community seem to have that attitude. I do think it's helpful that, I have kind of the higher rewards in at least the first seasons. Now, what I may not do, because buying Legend, kind of got you the highest level you can through the first 5 seasons. But into the 6th season, that won't be there. And so I'm assuming, like, if I wanted the same rewards, the same capability, I would have to spend probably another $20 or $30 at that point. And at that point, I may choose not to and say, they deserved what I gave them in the beginning, and it's been a good run. But, and also, that last part is going to just be some rewards. Ultimately, then we're probably moving into the next game. So I may be like, I get what I get, and maybe in that case, I wouldn't back off until I felt I had earned enough things or had gotten all the way through or whatever. But I don't know that I would, and so maybe I would stick with what I had for Season 5 and not improve my clubs or anything like that and just play. So we'll see, but that's a long way off. A lot of discussion there, so appreciate those of you that have stuck with me to listen. And as always, if you've enjoyed this, haven't dropped a like, or are not a subscriber, please consider that, and I will see you next time.